wisdom lies at the confluence of experience, knowledge, and understanding. Join me as I traverse these timeless pathways in search of common ground. Welcome to the Proverbial Kevin. As love and I late harbored in one inn, with proverbs thus each other entertain. In love there is no lack, thus I begin. Fair words make fools, replieth he again. Who spares to speak doth spare to speed, quoth I. As well saith he too forward as too slow. Fortune assists the boldest, I reply. A hasty man, quoth he, ne'er wanted woe. Labour is light where love, quoth I, doth play. Saith he, light burdens heavy, if far borne. Quoth I, the main lost, cast the buy away. Ye have spun a fair thread, he replies in scorn. And having thus a while each other thwarted, fools as we met, so fools again we parted. That is Proverbs by Michael Drayton, as read from the Dictionary of Quotations. Welcome to the Proverbial Kevin, where timeless wisdom meets modern application. I am, of course, Kevin, and today we're asking the question, what is a proverb? Or as one Mr. B. Bunny would put it, what's all the hubbub, bub? So what is a proverb? And I'm going to read a couple of definitions to you about what is a proverb. This is a dictionary that my son had when he was in school. It has no cover, and I'm not really sure who made it, but I'm going to read from it. According to it, a proverb is a short saying that speaks the truth. Next I have the Family Word Finder. According to it, a proverb is a popular saying, an adage, a maxim, aphorism, truism, accepted truth, epigram, precept, apothegm, saw, axiom, moral, dictum, mot, byword, motto, cliche. And just for good measure, I'm going to come over here to Merriam-Webster's website. According to them, a proverb is a brief, popular epigram or maxim, an adage. According to Oxford English Dictionary, a proverb is a short, traditional, and pithy saying. And according to dictionary.com, a proverb is a short, popular saying, usually of unknown and ancient origin, that expresses effectively some commonplace truth or useful thought, an adage or saw. Now, I've never heard it called saw before. That was kind of new to me. So those are some definitions. Proverbs come to us in many ways. They are passed down orally in many cultures, as exemplified in the storytelling traditions of many indigenous peoples across the world. They are passed down in the form of scrolls or books, through religious or academic channels, and they can even show up in backcountry slang sayings and folk tales, sayings such as, don't put the cart before the horse, or don't count your chickens before they hatch. But why do they endure? I think that's because we long for wisdom, on some level at least, and most of these sayings are allegorical, poetic, and memorable. They are especially easy to remember when they correspond to a current life event or situation. And for that, I have another quote from the quote book. A proverb is no proverb to you till life has illustrated it. That is attributed to Keats' letter to George and Georgiana Keats, 1819. And I have some examples. And we'll start with the book of Proverbs. That's what we all in the West think about. Book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. That speaks to having control over the self or self-discipline, and that without it, one is subject to invasion from outside influences. Next reading is going to be the Five Remembrances. This is I found this in the Heart of the Buddhist Teaching. The Five Remembrances. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature to change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My actions are my only true belongings. I cannot escape the consequences of my actions. My actions are the ground on which I stand. This relative truth speaks to the basic fears that one may have in living while giving them a mindfully semantic evaluation. And in Native American cultures, proverbs come in the form of stories, often weaving multiple life lessons within the context of the story. These can last for a few verses or be grand tales that take several days to tell and are difficult to transpose without losing some of the nuance and meaning. One of the shorter stories is Chipmunk Asks for the Light from the Seneca tribe and told in the book Native American Stories of the Sacred. And I'm going to read that short story to you. Once, long ago, the animals got together to decide whether the world should be forever dark or whether there should be daylight. "Let us have darkness," roared the bear. Chipmunk wanted daylight and sang, "Light, light, let us have light." "Night is best," retorted Bear. But Chipmunk chanted over and over, "Let the light come, let the light come." And then, as the sky showed its first surprising red dawn in the east, "The light is coming." Some of the animals ran into the woods to hide, and even now only come out at night. Soon the fire of the sun's rim was brilliant at the edge of the world, and Chipmunk rejoiced. Then the sun rose, and daylight filled the sky. Bear was furious and grabbed for Chipmunk with her big paw. Chipmunk did get away into a hole in a log, but not before the bear's claws scratched off some fur, making the stripes on its back that we see today. And even now, every spring, Chipmunk scurries around the woods, happily chattering, "Chip, chip, chip, the light is here." Now, the author says over here in a note that there are two ways to look at this statement. One is to say that there are always those who run from the spiritual, who would rather do anything than look at themselves in the light of day. The other is to say that what is good for one person is bad for another, and vice versa. We tend to forget that not everyone has the same needs that we do. And from Meditations, I'm going to read Meditations 7 and 18. Is any man afraid of change? Why, what can take place without change? What then is more pleasing or more suitable to the universal nature? And canst thou take a bath unless the wood undergoes a change? And canst thou be nourished unless the food undergoes a change? And can anything else that is useful be accomplished without change? Dost thou not see then that for thyself also to change is just the same and equally necessary for the universal nature? Speaks to the fact that change is not only present in every aspect of life, but that it is also inevitable and unavoidable. Verse 27 of the Tao Te Ching. Now, this comes from the Dudeism because I'm a fan. But the translation of verse 27 of the Tao comes from this book. A good traveler leaves no trace. A good speaker leaves no doubt. A good accountant needs no paper. A well-locked door needs no barricade. A well-tied knot needs no reinforcement. The sage tirelessly supports those in need, without stepping on the toes of others. He helps all without rejecting anyone nor anything. It takes a special kind of wisdom to act in this way. For the truly good person, his goodness will never be exhausted. By teaching those who are not yet in possession of beneficence, and by sharing what he has with them, he increases his own store of goodness. However, a student who does not trust his teacher, and who does not cherish his lesson, even if he is wise, will find himself no better off. One cannot acquire anything when one maintains no open place to put it. And this verse outlines attitudes for leadership. This is especially applicable today when our leadership rarely acts in the best interest of those who elect them. And since I'm into the whole brevity thing, I'm going to read the Dude version of that verse now. I have to warn you that there is some language, some foul profanity in this, and there's also a reference to a J. But this is the Dude version of verse 27 of the Tao Te Ching. A good bowler leaves no pins standing. A good tenant leaves the rent under the door. A good husband leaves the toilet seat down. A good friend leaves you the fuck alone. A good caller leaves a message after the beep. Takes a minute. So the dude abides and says, fuck it. He accepts everything and says, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. He bathes with candles, whale songs, and a J. People dig the style of the dude because the dude remains perfectly calm. But those that don't dig the dude, who do not like his jerk-off name, his jerk-off face, and his jerk-off behavior, are plainly jerk-offs themselves. They react like real reactionaries. Those who abide do not react. Those who react do not abide. Pacifism is not something that is hidden behind. It is a weapon employed against obstacles. Say what you will, at least it's an ethos, one with the necessary means for a necessary means. Very dude indeed. The common ground. All of these proverbs, some are longer than others, have a common thread. Timeless wisdom, presented in an allegorical, easy to understand and remember way that speaks to the heart, spirit, and intellect. In this way, wisdom can be procured, retained, and applied to everyday situations in which we find ourselves. These truths are often universal and can be applied practically and poetically to a variety of circumstances. So this is more than surface level wisdom. And, you know, a lot of this, when we read them, if we're searching for wisdom, when life circumstance happens that applies, then these things come to mind. And I have to say that since I have taken a foray into this, it does help. It helps me personally with, anxiety and some things like that. So it's pretty good. So, what's all the hubbub? Well, that may be subjective, but for me, these nuggets of nuanced wisdom, these sagacistic sayings, are what allow us to absorb wisdom and espouse truths that may otherwise pass us by. These proverbs can aid in our attempts to decipher meaning from suffering, taking the medicine of hard life lessons with a spoonful of honey. Now, if you got something useful from the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to join me on this quest, please hit the subscribe. If you have a favorite proverb or a verse, please comment that down below. Maybe I'll include that in a future video. And I will leave you with another quote from the quote book, from Aphorisms. I love them because it is a joy to find thoughts one might have beautifully expressed with much authority by someone recognizably wiser than oneself. That is from Marlene Dietrich, from Marlene Dietrich's ABC. And with that, I thank you for your time and attention. Be at peace and grow well.